So this isn't just a review of the DeLonghi La Specialista Prestigio. It's also about setting it up, the beans that I've used, just the general use of it. So you can skip to any area in the video, and this is the listing of the times. Very easy to set up, extremely easy to use. The reservoir on the back, fantastic, much bigger than any other machine that I've had. Right, so let's crack on with the video. Right, so this is it, my brand new stainless steel DeLonghi Specialista Prestigio. Reasons for purchase? Well, easy use when making a coffee more than anything else. You'll see in the video I've got an espresso coffee maker. I also use ground coffee straight into a cup. Trouble with an espresso coffee maker is it's not very nice. It doesn't make it strong enough. It's noisy and the water tank isn't very big on it. The ground coffee one straight into the mug, that's okay, but there's a lot of hassle because I have about 6 or 7 cups of coffee a day at least. There's a lot of grinding has to be done. So the reason I've purchased this. This is one of the ways that I currently make coffee with the Espresso machine. It's straightforward, it's fairly easy to do. Just turn the machine on, it'll warm up. When the lights stop flashing, it's ready to go. Take out your coffee pod, whichever one you want, and then literally open the top, pop the coffee pod in, close it, and when this is ready, you just press the button. Some of the drawbacks with this machine, well, the pods are very expensive. I was using some generic pods by another manufacturer, but even they're expensive. It's much cheaper to get beans, and you can control your quality as well. Also, when you turn it on, it's a bit noisy. Last but not least, you don't get a strong coffee from it. So I've changed the settings on it so that I get a bigger cup, but it's quite weak coffee. And in addition, the tank on the back, you've probably only got about 3 cups of coffee with the water in there as well. And this is another way that I make coffee. My preferred way at the moment, purely and simply because it's stronger. So I grind the beans in this dual-lit grinder. There's the ground coffee. As you can see, it's nice and fine. Get it out, level spoon, pop that in there, and then we just put near boiling water in. And that's done nice and easily with a hot water tap. Just put the water in. Leave it for a couple of minutes just to let the grains settle. This is actually more like the Turkish way of making coffee. And then to finish it off, just tap it. All the floaters drop down. Get your creamer, pop a couple of those in. Let it settle for a minute again. And that is pretty much the perfect coffee. This is it out of the box. We'll go through all the bits now and just see what comes with it. We'll get it set up and then we'll go through the use of it. All right, so everything looks nice and straightforward. We've got the power cable, just pop that to one side for the moment. We've got the hopper for the beans, and on it you've got a lock and unlock. So if we put it to the front, pop it in, turn it, right, now it won't come out, turn it the other way and it will come out. So that's nice and straightforward, and there's the lid for it. It's got a rubber seal on it, so that's going to keep your beans fresh depending how often you use it. And in this box, what have we got? We've got a manual and the various bits and pieces for the guarantee. Put those to one side. We've got softballs, anti-lime scale spheres. Right, I don't live in a lime scale area, so I'm not too bothered about that. That's something to clean it with. So you've got these two, one's for a single shot espresso, one's for a double shot espresso. We'll go through those when we're actually using it. There's a cleaning, like a pipe cleaner on there for, again, cleaning purposes. That's the milk jug. If you want to froth your milk, we'll see all these closer in a minute. Obviously, this is very substantial, this, really substantial. So these are going to fit into there and then obviously use them on there. And this is Descaler for espresso coffee makers. I've actually got a coffee maker machine cleaner as well, so this might not be what I need. Might just need a cleaner because you've got the oils in the coffee. You need to clean the machine just to make sure that they're removed. Right, let's have a look at the machine in a bit more detail before we actually get using it. Right, so if we have a look at the grinder first, as I've said, on the lid, this is rubberized here to keep the beans fresh. Just pop that on. It's in the lock position, so it's not going to come out. Now this adjusts the dose of the coffee that's going into the portafilter. So all it does is it just moves around like that. Now you may not be able to see it because of the chrome, but you basically, this is setting 1, which is fine. And it goes all the way through to setting 8, which is coarse. And just to give you an idea of how that affects the coffee. If we have a look at this in the instruction manual, it shows you for the grinding settings, the finer you have it, the lighter it is, the coarser you have it, the darker it is. So in the book it says set this to between 5 and 6. Right, so we've got it on 6, so it should be a bit stronger. Your 1 and 2 setting are for specialty coffees apparently. Right, so we'll have a look at the drip tray. That just pulls out and it's nice and smooth. Everything about this, when you touch it and feel the weight of things, it's all about quality. So your tray comes off the top there. This is for your drips. What will happen is, as this fills up and requires emptying, this float comes up. As you can see, it rises there like that. And what that basically means is, when that's in place, this will come up and indicate, can't get my fingers on it, but it'll rise and indicate that this needs emptying. Just pop it out, empty it, and then pop it back in. Simple as that. On the side of the unit, we've got the steam wand and the steam control. And you can see that the steam wand just moves round to wherever you want it. It's got a nice rubber grip on there so that you're not going to burn yourself if you're having to hold it somewhere. Very easy to use and a perfect size for the provided frother container. Just bring it over like that and lift it up. Right, so you've got the dosage dial, which takes you from a light coffee through to a dark coffee. We've got the button if you're going to use the 2-cup filter. Temperature control, the start button, hot water button, the my button. There's preset volumes of liquid for putting into cups. You can use this to make it specifically to the size of cup of coffee that you want. And then over on this side, you've got this dial, which is your espresso, your Americano, or just a coffee. And the last setting here is for descaling. And on the other side, we've got the smart tamper, and that simply pulls down like that. And you can see there's an indicator there and a pressure gauge there for you to pull down on. These are your 2 filters. You've got your single espresso and your double espresso. You see the difference there and on the bottom as well. And this is it's a cleaning accessory for the coffee outlet. Right, so now to get the beans put in. These are Costco's own brand. I've been using this just ground and straight into a cup with hot water. Really good coffee. Right, okay, so we'll get the beans in. I just want to go over this again. So when that's off, if you're cleaning it or anything, when you put it back in, you've got your unlock there, move it round, and you'll feel then that you've just got to twist it a bit more and it'll click. You've got to make sure that it clicks. Take the lid off, pour the beans in. That should do it. Pop the lid back on, and again with that rubber seal, just make sure it is on, just to keep that freshness sealed in. There we go. That's on nice and tight. Right, I suppose the next step is let's get a coffee made. It's now in situ. I've been using it for a few days. I've made lots of adjustments on it. You can really personalize this to exactly what you want. I don't do espresso. I mainly do just normal coffee with creamer in it. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to do a latte. Okay, so we'll do an Americano first. Just to go over a couple of things though, if you do want an espresso, there's a magnetically held smaller shelf there, obviously for the smaller cup, but I won't be using that. One of the things that I really like about this is there's lots of, if anything needs to be done, it tells you about it. So whereas with an espresso, I could run out of water halfway through it making a cup. On this one, there's lots of lights on here that give you indication of things that need to be done. When I switch it on, you'll see those come on. Those there. Right, first things first, I've got the beans in. Pop that in, turn it. And when I turn it, everything's set up to give it the right dose of beans. So nice and simple there. Now just tamp it, bring this down. You've got your measures on the side, just pop it down, take it back up, take it out, move it across, pop it in, and again across. So we're set up for the double espresso. This is the temperature that's been suggested, which I'm still using. The grind's been done, it's ready to go. The My button, that basically just changes the perhaps the amount of water that you have in the cup, that type of thing. So we'll just get this going now. Get your cup, pop it underneath. And you can see there, you've got your 2 espresso ports and also a hot water port. Now, because this is an Americano, it's going to do a double espresso shot and it's going to fill it up with hot water. So all we need to do at this point now is just press the button. There's the espresso coming out. There we've got the hot water just filling up. All done and dusted. Perfect coffee. Get some creamer in there now and it's great. Alright, so we've got 2 cups here that I've just done. This is a coffee. This is a long black or an Americano. Basically the difference between them is this is done on a double dose and all the water comes through the filter. This is done on a double dose and the water comes in separately after the double dose. So in this one you've got 200 ml of liquid and in this one you've got 160 ml of liquid. The difference in the taste, well, this one's quite a bit stronger. This is more like, well, it's smoother, let's put it that way. To break that down into volumes, you've got 2 lots of 80 ml going into this one, which is all through the filter, so 160 ml. And then with the Americano, you've got 70 ml of espresso and then 130 ml of water going in separately. When you've done your coffee, you can do one or 2 things. Once you take it out, you can either just tap it down if you've got a waste disposal, or you might want to keep your grind so you've got a knock box. So literally just knock it on there, it comes out, and then give it a rinse and you're ready for your next one. And time for a latte. So again, got the cup, got the milk jug, pop that in, it's going to grind it perfectly. Right, let's get the milk. So what we're going to do is put our semi-skim milk into the DeLonghi supplied jug. We'll make the coffee and then we'll steam the milk. Get the espresso, you can see, nice creamy head on it there. And on the side of the machine, on the right hand side, that's where the steam control knob is. When I turn it on, you see the steam light flashing there. And you can see the steam coming out, so now we just need to do the latte. So we get the wand, pop it into the milk, turn it on. And you can hear the tone changing, so let's turn that off now, that's plenty warm enough. Just remove it, wipe it with the cloth. And pour it into the coffee. Now I haven't foamed up the top because all I'm interested in is the milky coffee, not the foam on top of it. And that is that. Very quick to do the milk. Yeah, really impressed with that. Okay, so that's it. In review, the DeLonghi makes fantastic cups of coffee, whether that be latte, espresso, what I tend to have, which is the Americano. You've seen the other two ways that I used to make coffee. Now, I really do like the ground coffee, straight into a cup, hot water in it. It's so simple, so easy, but the grinding is a hassle. You're always grinding coffee. This does it all in one, and it does it quickly, and it does it perfectly. There's so much adjustment and personalisation that you can do on it. You could spend all day, you could spend all week trying to get the perfect coffee for you or something a little bit different. But you can do your espresso, your Americano, or your coffee nice and easily. Definitely a recommendation from me, much better than anything else that I've had. I bought this, it was on offer at the time. I think it was £499 on Amazon at the time. I've just had a look and it's around about 549, I think, but that's still better than the 749 that it was going for. So yeah, cheers. Good coffee.